Today we're going to learn about great horned owls, and this owl is going to be in a redwood tree. So what we're going to need is our usual things. We need an eraser, we need a pencil, we need a Sharpie, and today we're actually going to be using crayons, just crayons. The techniques for crayons or colored pencils or watercolored pencils, they're all the same. It's layers on layers on layers. So, while we're organizing this, don't forget to get your pencil. That what you'll need initially is your pencil and an eraser. And, of course, you're going to need a piece of paper. So the first things I'd like to show you here are our references here. So here is a great horned owl. And it doesn't actually have horns. Theirs are actually feathers. They kind of look like ears or horns that are sticking up, but they're neither ears nor horns. They're just feathers that are up there. And sometimes people say they think it's so that the owl is more of a camouflage, because look at how the owl looks camouflaged. And when it's hiding in the trees, sleeping during the day, it can camouflage itself. So here's another one here, and you can see it has kind of it just has this kind of muted pattern on it here, and you can see its face is kind of very distinctive. It has a V on there, and here's a close-up again. Here's this V down here, and then the beak, it's a turned under beak here, really big eye sockets here, really big eyes, and again, it's just kind of muted feathers, very soft feathers. And here's a close-up again. Here's that V in the front. Overlaps kind of, and the eyes kind of do a little, kind of a half circle under there. Beak, and again here, same thing. So they look like ears. They're called ears, but they're not. And this is a good example of one here. Here's how big those eyes are. They're really big. And look at the talons, the feet. Here's these talons. So they actually have 4. Usually one would be in the back, 2 in the front, and one of the talons can go in either direction. So that's 1, 2, 3, but that one could go in the back. And there's one in the back holding on to the branch that it's on. And here's my friend, my little cuddly friend. And you can see all the muted colors, the talons, big eyeballs, and the redwood here, we're going to put it in a redwood tree. So this is how we're going to start. You're going to use this pencil, and I'm going to use a darker pencil so that you can actually see this. So the first thing I want you to do is just put a little dot in the middle like that. Just a little dot. This will help us. Okay, it's like a helping dot. And so the next thing we're going to do, let's give it a branch. The branches are rough, kind of bumpy. In a branch, you don't see the trunk, and you're not going to see the end of the branch, okay? You're just going to see this part here. Okay, branches have branches on branches on branches. So here's a branch that comes to a point, with a branch that comes to a point, with a branch that comes to a point, branches on branches on branches. Look, here's another one, a branch that comes to a point, branches on branches. You might even have another one over here. And I'm actually not doing any so much up here because I want to put our owl here. And redwood trees don't usually, their branches tend to go down. Although you could put another one up over here if you wanted to. Now the next thing I want us to do is kind of a circle. It's kind of, well, not a circle, an oval, like this oval. But I'm doing it a few times just so you see that shape. You don't need to. It's kind of a flat oval. And it doesn't touch the branch. And then we're going to, inside that oval, you're going to give it a round head. Right? Just like that. A round head in there. Oh, this is good. You're on the way. The talons, again, here's the talons. You can see they're very fat, and they're covered with feathers to keep them warm. So let's give it a couple of fat legs. There's a fat leg and a fat leg. Now, these talons are huge. And I actually kind of draw them like a long, kind of a rectangle like that, okay? And then it's got, now these are all helping lines. These are helping lines. They're going to go away. They're to help you get the structure. Now, what we're missing here now is the wings that would be folded. So let's give it a little bit of wing, and they'll all be folded. Down here would be the tail coming right down here below the branch, overlap on that. Now, let's get to its face. Let's put these ears, well, they're not ears, okay, fine. They're feathered tufts on sort of the side, and they kind of go out like that. And from the feathered tufts, it makes a V from that part, a V. That'll help you there. Okay, and then the eyes are kind of under it. It's not a complete circle. Make it a half circle. Quite big, really big, really big. And then on the inside, you could do your eye in there. There you go. An eye in there, yes. And then it's got its beak. It's got its beak. Now, the rest of the things that we'll be doing here, it has a design, but it's the feathers kind of go in and out, kind of like they get tucked in here. So there's a couple of places the feathers are darker and tucked in. They're tucked in. And so I want you to keep in mind that it's a kind of an arbitrary pattern. It's not like zebras are very distinct, right? So what this is just more darkness where the tufts go in, like that. And then a little bit on the wings. And we're going to add more later, but a little bit on the wings here. Okay, there's a little bit on the head up here, but a lot of this around here, we're going to just add color to in here. It's a little darker in here. There we go. And a little bit more like that. That's perfect. That's perfect for now. Good. The next thing I want us to do, let's look at these needle leaves. Look, needle leaves, needle leaves, needle leaves. Look at that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add those needle leaves. They're just needle leaves. Here we go, needle leaves like that. Needle leaves. Here we go. And the needle leaves are even on the branch itself. Not the big fat branch here, but this one, there could be some needle leaves here. And then it comes out to the end like that. And again, don't worry if you're going over the tail. Don't even worry about that. That's fine. Overlap. There we go. And needle leaves. There we go. And the next thing here, we're going to give it some bark. And I kind of do like L's, kind of interesting shapes like that. And the last thing, because it's nocturnal, right? So we can do a moon. Here are the arts. Now, a moon could be a crescent moon or a half moon. I'm going to draw a big full moon. You don't have to put it there. You can put it over here or not at all. It's up to you. So this is the part that we can stop at this point, and I want you to go get your Sharpie because we're going to be outlining here, okay? So while we're doing that, go get your Sharpie. So while we're doing that, I think I have some sounds. Listen to these sounds for owls. Listen. There. Isn't that kind of fun? So we're going to do our owl first, right? Outline. Ruff. No straight lines. There we go. Like that. There we go. Remember, the lines are kind of bumpy because they're full of feathers, right? There, our claws over here. That's good. Get back over here. On the outside. Okay, here we go. Here's this. I don't know what that little kind of sound is. I think it's the babies asking for food. That's what I think. That little funny sound. Okay, here we go. And now we got to do the inside. Here's this kind of V. There. Yeah, I think that's babies. I could be wrong. I don't know. But you know the hoot owls. They're the hoot owls. Here we go. Let's get our branch. Here we go. Branch. Here we go. Branch. And then what we're going to do here is get our needle leaves. Here we go. Needle leaves. There we go. Okay, needle leaves. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I still think that that's the baby, kind of a big baby, maybe a teenage baby. I don't know. Anyway, we got that. Let's go back. Let's get our bark. bark, bark, bark. Get our moon, 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 moon. Here we go. Hi, moon. You are a good moon. There we go. And let's get some of our kind of that design that was there. There. A little bit of the wing here. There, and it had this kind of a almost lines, but everything's bumpy. They're all feathers, right? Feathers. Another one over here. Good. Okay. That's pretty much what I think we can do right now. The next step that we'll be doing, oh, the tail. I need his tail. Hello, tail. There we go. The next step will be erasing. See, we're going to erase. So I want you to erase all of this here. Just erase. Just erase. Make it clean. Make it clean. Because now we're going to add color. So we're going to be using crayons. Just crayons today. I just want to show you the crayon technique. Everyone's got crayons. So erase. Do a good job erasing here. There. There. That's a really good stopping point. Very good stopping. Go get those crayons. Okay, so everybody went and got your crayons, right? So you know what would be fun? I think I'm going to start out with the moon. So I have a moon here. Here we go, moon, 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 moon. And I'm just going to do this here. There we are. Oh, that's not a crayons. You need a lot of layers on this to get the colors that we might want to have. Let's try another one of these. And again, it's layering. It's just like a colored pencils. The key to colored pencils is layering, not one hard one, but a bunch of different layers. So I'm just going to keep doing this. And you know what? I might want to make this kind of a harvest moon. So I might want to see if I can find a slightly more orangey color in here. Yeah, there we go. That would just be me. There, yeah, it doesn't have to be these colors, but I kind of love that harvest moon look. There. Okay, good. We did that. Awesome. Now, here's a little trick I'd like you to do. Remember how our animal has a lot of whiteness in here? There's a lot of white in there. It's kind of, I don't know if this helps at all, but there's a lot of white or light. So I'm actually going to put a little bit of white here and there. I want it, especially around the face, is a little bit lighter. And even though you can't really see this will keep the colors that you put down from getting too dark in these spots. And you can see it's kind of dappled, almost dappled. The colors there are no straight lines. It's just all full of nice, wonderful feathers. And now the next thing I'm going to do, look, I have some wonderful colors because they're crayons. Look at this, I even have gold. So I'm going to put a couple of little things in here. We're just layering. You just pick out whatever colors you want now. We're going to tend towards grays though. But there will be, especially around the face, you're going to find that there's more of these brownish kind of golden colors in here. There we go. There we go. Now, I know it's a little harder to use crayons, but I want to show you that you can. People don't think it's a real art tool, and it is. Definitely is. So here's another one. Here's one here. It's a gray. Look at that. Great, great, great. We need a lot of that. Especially go over where you did some of the lines. Make that whole area a little bit darker. Right? And I'm just kind of doing zigzags. You see what I'm doing here. There, and the reason they have this is because they need to blend into the trees when they're in the daytime, when they're sleeping, because they're nocturnal, right? And they hunt at night. And they need to kind of blend into the trees so you don't just look up and see an owl sleeping, because that's not the best time for them. They're asleep. They can't pay attention to things, right? Right? So the other thing that's so cool about this, owls have fixed eyes. It means their eyes, like you can move your eyes, not your head, from side to side, right? Owls can't. Their eyes only go straight, but their head turns almost entirely around, not quite, but almost entirely around its head. So instead of moving the eyes like we move our eyes like that, it moves its head and the eyes stay put, right? It can move its head. It can see behind itself, which is pretty wild, okay? Anyway, so we're going to be doing this here, and I'm adding a few colors in here. There we are. Keep doing that. You know, another thing, we know owls see very well at night. They do. They hear exceptionally well. They have one ear, and it's a hole. You can't see it. It's a hole under the feathers. One is higher than the other. So they can actually hear differently, and they turn their head to try to find out where that little mouse is coming from. They can even hear a mouse under the snow from the top of the tree. Isn't that wild? So they can do that. I'm adding a little black in here because even the black on the crayons are not super black. Yeah. There, and just keep adding stuff. Let's keep adding stuff. Add. Yeah. And you know what? Owls can actually eat skunks. It's one of the few, because they don't smell. They hardly smell at all. It's one of the few animals that will do that. See, I put a lot of lightness around here, and I actually want lightness around its eyeballs, right? Lightness around its eyeballs. And the eyeballs are black, so I'm going to come back and try to get a little black in there. And the beak is black, and the toenails are black. Or the claws, they're black too. Okay, there we go. Good. I want you to come back in and also get the tree. And a tree is rough. It's rough because it's bark, right? Come on down in here. There we go. Oh, I forgot to do the tail feathers. Oh, my goodness. We'll get to that. Here we go. In fact, look. Let's get a couple of that in there. The tail feathers actually a little bit lighter. There we go. We got that. Look at that. Look. Good. We did that. Good. Okay. Let's keep on putting our colors in here for our branch, right? Right. There we go. Oh, good. There. Let's find some more colors for our branch here. There. It's a redwood tree, so it'll have slightly reddish browns in it. Okay. Slightly reddish browns. There. Yeah. And owls. Great horned owls. You know what's so interesting about them? They don't weigh very much. They only weigh maybe 3 pounds, a tiny bit more than 3 pounds, which is kind of wild. And then they're able to pick up. They could pick up something the size of a large cat. Even it's pretty amazing. So we're going to do this here. Here we go. There we go. There. Okay, and one more here. There we go. Do some more of this. And the very last thing I'm going to suggest to you, now this isn't totally done, but I do want to move on a little. If you have a purple chalk, like a purple chalk or a dark blue, I'm going to suggest you just come right in here. Just come right in here, and you rub this with the snubby, which is just a piece of tissue, rather than your finger, because you'll get really a nice blending. Look at that. Yeah. Now, I actually, if I was taking my time, which I usually like to do, I would ask you to put more colors all over. More colors on the branch, more colors on your owl, more colors on the needle leaves, all of that, okay? So, but since I'm just going to finish this up, you can go back and finish up some of this, okay? You can go back and finish up and make this finished. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. And oh, look, I have a little dark blue. I might want to add that. And I'm just going to say we're done. Look at this. This is good. Do go back and finish this, okay? Do go back and finish this. So here we are. Look, the great horned owl and the redwood. Here's some redwood. Here we go. Great horned owl and the redwood. Oh, good job. That is awesome.